Degree Living here again with another video. I feel like I have so been challenged ever since I told you guys my word of the year was open. But since I've said that about 6 months ago, I have been holding true to that. And as you guys know, I've been on here 3 or 4 years, just showing up faithfully, trying to encourage everyone else, even when I needed encouragement myself. And I think this is really a year where I have needed some encouragement. So I just wanted to talk about my 2020 and 2021 homeschool review. So the truth is, it was kind of hard. It was a harder year for me. I don't know if I can say it's been my hardest year, but it's definitely been filled with challenges and obstacles, but I've also seen beauty from the ashes in it. And so let's start off by saying I absolutely love homeschooling, being with my kids, being a mom, being a wife, all those things. And if you don't know from the videos, I love books and games and manipulatives and all those things. So for me not to have my books all out and available, in clear sight, ready to use, really hurt me whenever we were trying to sell our house, when we were under contract, and when we were moving, and then when we were at settlement, and then moving into this house, but having to get our beds first. Like, how can I say, forget the beds. We need to get my homeschool room done, because if we don't get my homeschool room done, we ain't doing nothing else. Like, you can't say those kind of things, and I understand that it would be out of order and inappropriate. But in my heart. So anyway, no. But so that was really hard to me, because at the same time, I'm saying that we were selling the house and putting the house on the market and moving and all of that, I actually had to kind of say goodbye to my oldest. I've never shared this on YouTube before, but you guys know I've homeschooled him since K. But I had him before I was married, and his father and I shared custody of him. And so that is why for the longest time you didn't see me do a ton of videos, mostly book hauls and showing you the things we've learned, or maybe our nature studies and things. A couple reasons. One, because I feel like all kids are doing math, science, English. Like, all kids have to do those basics. So I don't need to be on here. There's 1,001 videos and homeschooling moments about those subjects. So I feel like I don't really have to be on here for that. I am here for the extras, for telling you to get out in nature with your kids, for telling you to read to your kids, to love on them. I'm here for telling you that even with a little, you can do a lot, to encourage you that you don't have to have a lot to homeschool, that you don't have to look a certain way, live a certain space, have a certain amount of finances to homeschool, only if you have 1 or 2 kids. I've got 5 kids, and up until this year, I homeschool them all. Even when I worked from home, I homeschool, and now that I'm not working from home, I'm still homeschooling. I'm brown, black, African American, whatever you want to call it. So just breaking down so many barriers, but a barrier that I never talked about because it was kind of touchy for me, to be honest, was custody. And so I was a custody mama as well. So the way things worked was I had my son Tuesday through Sunday, and his father had him Sunday through Sunday afternoon at 2 until Tuesday. And so he homeschooled him the days that he had him, I homeschooled him the days that I had him, and that's how we made it work. So you can make even custody work. So I'm really here to say you can make anything work, okay? From color to finances to custody, all these things, you really can make it work if you really want it. And you're really willing to put in the work and the discipline that it takes. It was definitely hard whenever we were working together, having to stop something because I feel like, I'm feeling excitement internally about the unit or whatever we're doing, but then I'm feeling sad, like, oh, he's missing it, he's not here. And then when he does come back, we're kind of catching up, because even though he's doing things over there, it's not what we're doing here. And I don't know, nor can I see, or am I there for those things. So it was kind of like, when he came back, we were trying to kind of go through the things. So essentially, really, we were kind of doing a 5-day homeschool in really 3 days. It's kind of the way we made it work. Now, he did get to take some of the things, with him, but in any event, that was really a struggle. That was really hard for me. So anyway, moving out of the state and him wanting to stay behind hurt. It was very hard. However, I will say he is doing incredibly. I'm not teary. I'm not teary. This is a good video. You know, sometimes homeschoolers get on here and they act like the sky is always so blue, that life's always so great. They're always so happy to do the lessons. And the reality are there's some days that we're just tired and we need a teacher's work day. There are times when there's protests and riots and custody issues and, you know, job loss and baby births or miscarriages or death of loved ones or, you know, wanting to be with loved ones. There are times these things come and they really hurt our heart, and there are things that we have to work through. So I'm just here to be honest and authentic like I've been my whole journey. It's not always easy, it's not always fun, but it's just a matter of continuing to push through to that thing. So this was something that was hurtful for me. It was something that was hard to deal with, hard to swallow. Again, though, there was beauty in this. And so when my son transferred to the public school, he's doing incredibly well. I'm talking about all A's and just a few B's. So that's encouragement to you mamas who think that you're not doing enough, who like me may say, I didn't finish that last lesson because I don't know what instilled in our brains that we have to complete every single lesson in the course book in order to measure our worth as a teacher or how we're really teaching and what we're really doing. So I really want to encourage you here. I want you to hear my heart here, because I know for so long I did that and it was like, did I get everything done? Did I dot every I? Did I cross every T? And I'm not perfect, and I'm not gonna be able to do that, you know, every single year with every single child. There's some times that I'm just not, and I have to be okay with that and pick up the pieces and move on. So moving forward, and meanwhile here, we moved right as COVID was happening. Oh my goodness. So the science center, the library, everything was shut down when we moved here. And honestly, from the time we moved here till now, I have not found toilet paper at Walmart yet. So I'm just telling you, like, we really just kind of went from one struggle to another struggle to another struggle. If you don't know anything about selling a house or selling a house with 5 kids, man, I did a whole series on it, but let me tell you, it is something else. There was a lot of moments where my faith, where everything was just challenged. It was a hard moment. That was a lot to happen. Selling your house, buying a new house, moving out of state, leaving a child behind, moving in the middle of a epidemic. It's been hard. And now currently we have a lot of racial tension and issues going on. So it's been a lot. And for me, someone who's just sweet as pie and I'm a filler and I just really want peace and everybody to get along and all these things. I'm a mother by nature. So if anytime somebody tells me something, immediately I'm trying to think of a solution. How can we fix it? How can we make it work? It's just my nature. It's just who I am. So these things definitely weigh on me heavier than they would for most. And it's not like, oh, that's nothing, gonna get out. No, it really affects me. And so I've had to just stop for a minute and just say, I'm really not okay right now. This is a lot, and this is a lot to handle. It's a lot to deal with. I don't have to pretend like I'm okay and I'm so strong. I can just admit I'm having a hard time with this. And so that's that open and honesty part of what I, shared on the first video. But also I do see a lot of people speaking up, standing firm, working together, encouraging other, loving on each other, and even loving on me in this new space. I've got a few welcome gifts, and I've been, brought over some cinnamon buns, and just, oh man, it's just such a blessing. And as I record this video, our state's actually opened back up, and so I haven't been crazy. I've been still doing my drive-in pickup and stuff, been going to Bible study, but I did go to the Goodwill. And so if you haven't seen it, check out that haul, because I've got some amazing things there. So although we're not finished every single subject, we are doing good. We have been doing good overall. We just have had a lot of moments. And let me just tell you, when those moments came, I relied heavily on a Charlotte Mason approach, living books, because that was something I could kind of, instead of trying to take all these kids' curriculums around, it was easy to take living books that I could fit into my bag, fit into the book bag, and still teach them and explore with them and love on them, but without the curricula. So I'm not saying I'm gonna go unschooling, nor am I. However, I do understand and see the benefit and value of unschooling. I have no judgments to anybody who chooses that method. And if you've ever thought that, I hope that really clears the air. Oh, game schooling too. Doing times like this, games and books are perfect projects, experiments, because remember, we can't go on any field trips or anything like that. So just kind of connecting these dots all around. So where we are now, we are going to begin a unit study in the next week or so, because my kids are so happy and excited about unit studies. And honestly, they are just so fun, and they really are a highlight of us. So in moments where life is stressful, when I'm having a hard time, honestly, we stop everything. We do the basics, and I mean just the basic subjects, and all the extras take a back burner, because although it's a heartbeat in my home, it is not the most important. I shudder to say that, because to me it's the most important. Yeah. So I wasn't able to do all the extras, the hands-on projects, all the experiments, and all those things that I would want to do, would like to do, would normally do, again, just because we had so much going on. But I feel like now we are at a place of peace, and we're ready to just get back in it. Things have really settled down, and I'm so excited to come back and share what the unit is. And a lot of you are going to be really shocked at my choices of homeschool this year. So I'll be back to share that. And I think that we're going to be back to just record more here and be more open and honest about our day, without feeling so horrible that my oldest isn't here, that he's behind, and is someone gonna ask where he is, because people are judgmental. You guys, some of you are judgmental, some of you guys are mean. You have nothing to do but troll people's things and leave negative and rude remarks, and I don't think that's okay or appropriate, because you wouldn't say those things to someone's face, nor would you like someone to say those things to your face. So I just think we should always be mindful of the things we say. We don't know how it will impact somebody, or we don't know what headspace they're in, or the difficult times they're already having. And I just think negativity just doesn't help anyone, and it really doesn't even help you. It doesn't even speak well of you by doing it. So with all those things said, I hope just by me sharing my story that it's encouraging you to know that even with custody, even with epidemic, even with maybe not making $1 million a year, maybe just the general $40,000 a year or less or more, whatever, you still can homeschool. That by being brown, black, African American, however you want to preface it, you can homeschool. I just want to encourage you that you can do a lot with a little. There doesn't have to be any limitations. Just push yourself out the box, and don't allow yourself to be boxed in, and just continue to do the best that you can do, and try to be as spirit-led as possible, and you'll see that you just can't go wrong. I have no regrets. I homeschool my child from kindergarten up to 7th grade, half of 7th grade year, and I have no regrets. I mean, maybe I would have, actually I do. I probably would have just helped him more and read to him more. Come sit on my lap, teenager. Let me read to you and hug you. No, but seriously, we won't regret the time, the energy, the planning, the sacrifices, not buying things for ourselves to buy the things they need and we want for the homeschool or for their studies. Those things, they're beautiful. continue to be beautiful mamas. Continue to give everything you got. This is the next generation. It's important. You matter. It matters. We matter. And together we're raising and rearing and embracing a new generation of people that are going to change the world in a phenomenal way, breaking down barriers and going to places and spaces that we never thought that, maybe they could go. And so I just want to say, let's just keep rising. Let's just keep excelling. Let's just keep doing the best we can do. And again, I'm always here. I'm encouraging you, standing with you, cheering you on. And until next time, blessings.